Hey guys, what's going on? This is Ash Kumra with Youngry. We are going to talk about sales, how to make money. It doesn't matter if you're for-profit, non-profit, social impact, a cause, individual, an idea. You need to make money to make the business grow. And so what better way to show you that from a mentorship standpoint, that's what Youngry is all about, than to get a top sales coach, someone who helps companies from all sizes scale, make money, and be prosperous, and have fun at the same time. So I'm here with my friend Ali Mirza. He is here with the Rose Consulting Group, and we're going to dive into it. So thanks for being here.
If you have a great product or a great solution or service, whatever it is that I have, if it's perfect and it's the world's best thing in the world, people will come. And to a certain extent, if you build it, they will come. But there's a middle part that people don't get, and I mean it's communication. You have to properly and effectively communicate, and that's all about being intentional about it. So trying to understand what do I do and where the gap in the market is and how can I communicate to you. Because if you get it, you understand what I'm doing for you, then yes, you'll buy it. But if I'm not communicating it to you and I'm not being intentional about it, then it probably won't just happen. So I mean, that could just be as simple as sitting down and carving out time for outreach. That could be as simple as making sure that what you're saying, just because I said something, doesn't mean you fully understood what I said, right? You have your own interpretation of what my words meant. So I think that's the one thing that never changes, being intentional. Being intentional about, did you understand what I said? Am I day-to-day going out and getting more clients? So that's probably the most important thing.
I love that. What about processes, softwares, daily habits you got to do? What do you recommend?
Software, everyone's got a CRM, or I shouldn't assume. Everyone should have a CRM, right?
What's a CRM?
So customer relationship management, right? So basically keeps track of what your activities are, who your clients are, all their information. Just like the little stuff that everyone seems to think, oh, well, I got an email from them, I've got their information, and you don't know, maybe you deleted the email or you have to go in there and find it. So little things like that. So you got to have a CRM, depending on what it is that you're selling. Maybe an email cadence tool, right? So if you're a SaaS company that's doing outreach, I would think that a lot of people would have that at this point, but just want to cover the basics, right? Something that you can automate your outreach, rather than, if you're on an Apple, Command C and Command V, or Windows, Control C, Control V, right? Copying and pasting over and over again into the body of an email. There's things that can do that, that can automate it for you. There's a lot of pipeline managers out there making sure, how much money do I have coming in 6 months from now? It's not just about, a lot of people when they forecast, they just kind of pick a number out of the air. I'd like to have $10 million coming next quarter, but, well, I'd like $1 million.
So how do you forecast? That's interesting.
So forecasting is, first of all, is a total crapshoot because nobody does it correctly, right? So what they look at is historical data and say that, okay, last year we were at $2 million, at the end of second quarter. So this year we're going to be at $2.5 million.
Okay.
Right? They just pull a number out of the air. If you don't have the tools and the analytics to be able to look back and say, okay, based on our activities last year, we made 1,000 phone calls a day. My team made 1,000 phone calls a day. We were able to close 10% of those phone calls and move them to the next level. And then from there, of that 10%, we were able to close 50% of them and actually convert them into paying clients. If you don't have that type of strong data to be able to look back and say, okay, well, if we want to increase our revenue by 25%, so instead of maybe making 1,000 phone calls, we can maybe make 1,250, or can we increase our close ratio? Can we, our average client was paying us $100 a month. Can we increase that to 100? So, those are some of the appropriate ways of forecasting. And you'd think, oh, well, these are tech guys. Of course they're doing it. Let's pull a number out of the air. That's all a lot of them are doing.
Let's go then. So we talk about some of the software using a CRM, which I totally agree with you. What about, the actual time spent, like prospects versus warm leads versus, ongoing customers? Like, do you have a system on that, how to prioritize?
Again, case by case basis, but I mean, in a general whole, you definitely, that goes back to being intentional, right? Where as business owners, we tend to get very much focused on one thing and one thing only. And we need to look at kind of the sales cycle as a very much of a larger ecosystem where, so some people say, I'm going to spend all my money and time, energy, and effort on marketing.
Okay.
Content marketing, and I'm going to get inbound leads. Or then, versus some other people just say, I'm just going to go strictly outbound. Versus some people say, I'm going to leverage a referral network. That's one of the things that I oftentimes see is almost nobody is leveraging all of the channels that they could be. So you should be using content marketing, you should be using other forms of digital marketing, you should be going outbound, you should be using referral networks, you should be asking your existing clients for referrals, but then you should also be going back to upsell your existing clients. And so there's a whole bunch of things. I did go off on a little bit of a tangent, so I don't know if I answered your question.
No, you did. I love that. I love what you're saying because it's good to focus, but it's not just good to focus on one thing. Be excellent at a few things.
Yeah. And now the flip side to that is don't bite off more than you can chew, right? Don't go into 80 different things and say I'm going to do a little bit of everything, right? So there is a little bit of a delicate balance. Like get good at something, but then, you know, when you get when a channel's working for you, right? Have an understanding that there is a law of diminishing returns, right? So just because now I've put in this much effort, I'm getting $1 million out of it, and if I put in twice as much effort, I may or may not get $2 million. So versus, you know, there's other areas that are ripe for the picking. So you gotta know your business.
So let's conclude this interview with a few myths, and you can tell me if they're true or not. Do you need a budget, a sales marketing budget to get sales?
No.
Why?
Oh, most of sales is based off of activity.
Okay.
And so if you as the founder of your own little enterprise are not willing to put in the effort and activity, then I mean, good luck trying to find somebody else that's going to do it for you. So I always tell everybody, engage in the right activities and the results will follow. You can very quickly, there's this little thing, I don't know if you're aware of it, it's called Google. You can just type up, what should I do? Like figure out what you do and how to create an appropriate campaign, and it will get you to enough of a level of proficiency where the information's out there for free. You don't have to hire someone like me. You want to take it to the next level, maybe you want to. But starting out, I mean, you can find out quite a bit of stuff for free online and then just execute.
Okay.
If you're the old saying where, I forget who said it, but if information was key, we'd all be billionaires with six-pack abs, right?
I saw that. Yeah.
So it's like, don't just go and get the information, don't just go watch YouTube videos, don't just read books, execute on it. So you don't need much of a budget for that.
Does your product have to be like a finite state, you know, that MVP or perfect stage, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, no, so first of all, there's no such thing as perfect.
Okay.
You know, there's always going to be revisions, there's always going to be things that you can make better. But that being said, you're never going to be able to know what the market wants, and you're never going to be able to understand what corrections you need to make inside your own product until you get it out there, until you get the feedback from your clients that say, look, this is terrible, or look, this is awesome. Go get it. Maybe you get it to a certain level of proficiency, go and speak to your clients. That client says, look, you need to make X, Y, Z changes. At least now you know, and you can go to another client with those changes if you burnt that bridge there. Okay. So that's the worst thing that can happen. But chances are, at least, you know, that person might just come, you can go back to them and say, hey, I made the changes that you wanted, there you go. And you know, they may or may not buy it at that point.
Last question, what is a book you recommend every entrepreneur read, specifically ones that want to do more sales and scale?
So I hate recommending books because almost all sales books are more or less the same.
It doesn't have to be a sales book, it can be a book about life.
So, okay, can I give you 3 books?
Please.
Okay, so 3 books I always recommend for everybody is How to Win Friends and Influence People. Great, just a people book, lets you know how to talk to people. Second one is 48 Laws of Power by Ronald Green.
Oh, yeah.
If you want to control a situation, that'll help you. And then the third one is Predatory Thinking by Dave Trott. A little bit of a
predatory thinking.
Yeah, it teaches you how to.
Vicious.
It gives you a little bit of an abstract way of thinking. So I mean, if everyone's thinking very linearly, you can think a little bit different.
All right. Thanks, man.
Thank you.